Throughout history, as humans spread across the world, infectious diseases have been a constant companion. World Health Organization labeled the novel coronavirus a pandemic after it became clear that COVID-19 was spreading freely across most of the world. But history is no stranger to global disease outbreaks, each of which has taught us something about how to manage their spread. Here are some of history's most deadly pandemics. Black Death. The plague originated in rats and spread to humans via infected fleas. The outbreak wiped out 30 to 50% of Europe's population, with an estimated death toll between 75 to 200 million people. Smallpox, 16th century. Smallpox killed an estimated 90% of Native Americans. It killed almost 56 million people worldwide. Edward Jenner developed a vaccine from cowpox. The last case of smallpox was in 1949. It is the only infectious disease to be eradicated. Yellow fever. 150,000 people were killed. The vaccine was developed and then licensed in 1953. One vaccine is enough for life. Great Plague. Throughout the 17th and 18th centuries, a series of Great Plague routinely ravaged cities across Europe, killing more than 3 million people. Cholera pandemics. 1800. The first cholera pandemic occurred in the Bengal region of India, near Calcutta, starting in 1817 through 1824. The disease dispersed from India to Southeast Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and Eastern Africa through trade routes, killing almost 1 million people. It's unclear what ended the pandemics, but it may have been the change in climate or quarantines. Immediate cholera treatment is crucial, as it can cause death. Treatment includes antibiotics, zinc supplementation, and rehydration. The best way to prevent cholera is to wash hands regularly with soap and water, and avoid drinking contaminated water. Spanish flu, 1918. The 1918 flu infected up to 1/3 of global population and killed up to 50 million people. The pandemic revealed just how many lives can be saved by social distancing. Cities that canceled public events had far fewer cases. Just as the outbreak was unfolding, Philadelphia threw a parade with 200,000 people marching in support of World War I effort. By the end of the week, 4,500 people were dead from the flu. The flu would return later in 1957 as the Asian flu and caused nearly 70,000 deaths before a vaccine became available. Today's treatment includes bed rest, fluids, and antiviral medication. HIV/AIDS. First identified in Democratic Republic of the Congo in 1976, HIV/AIDS has truly proven itself as a global pandemic, killing more than 36 million people since 1981. Currently, there are between 31 and 35 million people living with HIV. The vast majority of those are in sub-Saharan Africa, where 5% of the population is infected, roughly 21 million people. As awareness has grown, new treatments have been developed that make HIV far more manageable, and many of those infected go on to lead productive lives. Between 2005 and 2012, the annual global deaths from HIV/AIDS dropped from 2.2 million to 1.6 million. Now we know that HIV damages the body's immune system and compromises its ability to fight off infection. While there is no cure for HIV, you can decrease your risk through safety measures like making sure your needles are sterilized and having protected sex. SARS. SARS was first reported in Asia in February 2003. Over the next few months, the illness spread to more than 2,000 countries in North America, South America, Europe, and Asia. Total of 8,090 people worldwide became sick with SARS during the 2003 outbreak. Of these, 774 died. Coronavirus disease 2019 COVID-19 is a respiratory illness that can spread from person to person. The virus that causes COVID-19 is a novel coronavirus that was first identified during an investigation into an outbreak in Wuhan, China. The virus that causes COVID-19 probably emerged from an animal source, but is now spreading from person to person. The virus is thought to spread mainly between people who are in close contact with one another, within about 6 feet, through respiratory droplets produced when an infected person coughs or sneezes. It also may be possible that a person can get COVID-19 by touching a surface or object that has the virus on it, and then touching their own mouth, nose, or possibly their eyes. But this is not thought to be the main ways the virus spreads. Patients with COVID-19 have had mild to severe respiratory illness with symptoms of fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Wash your hands, often with soap and water, for at least 20 seconds. Use an alcohol-based sanitizer that contains at least 60% of alcohol if soap and water are not available. If you are sick, to keep from spreading respiratory illness to others, you should stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue, then throw the tissue in the trash. Clean and disinfect frequently, touch object and surface. There is currently no vaccine to protect against COVID-19. The best way to prevent infection is to take everyday prevention actions. There is no specific antiviral treatment for COVID-19. People with COVID-19 can seek medical care to help relieve symptoms. An infographic has been shared hundreds of times on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Alongside a claim, it shows that 2020 novel coronavirus pandemic fits a pattern of viral outbreaks that occurs every 100 years. The claim is false. The infographic contains inaccurate information about historical viral outbreaks and ignores other epidemics that do not fit the assumed pattern. Thank you.